Okay, so welcome to day 3 of feeding your starter yet again and making leaven, which is what is going to be the base of your sourdough bread. So here I have my sourdough starter that's now been fed for 2 days straight. And I have 2 bowls here. This one I'm going to use to feed the starter, and then the large one I'm going to use for the leaven. And so to get started, you will again repeat the process for your sourdough starter for feeding it, but this time adding also making the leaven. So we'll start with making the leaven, which is pretty much a similar process. So you're gonna put it on your kitchen scale. Mine won't let me put that on there first, so there we go. Tear it out and change it to grams. So for this, you're gonna need 30 grams of starter, of this mature starter. So instead of 75, you're only gonna need 30, which seems like not very much for making 2 loaves of bread. But it is really active right now, so 30 on the money. Alright, so I have my 30 grams of sourdough starter, and my next thing I'm going to add is the water, just like you will do with feeding your starter. So I have my water over here. I put a bit more in it. Tear it out. And you're going to do 200 grams of water. So there we go. About 200 grams of water. Get that to dissolve. So as you can tell, it's a lot less starter and a little bit more water. Get that all good and dissolved. So the process is just the same for feeding your starter, except it's just different amounts. So let's tear that out. And very similarly to feeding your starter, you're going to have the same amount of flour as you do water. So with 200 grams of water in here, you're going to have 200 grams of flour. And so I do 100 grams of each. 100 of the whole wheat and 100 of the all-purpose. In there. Alright, about 100 of the whole wheat, now 100 of the all-purpose. Okay, and that's it. You just mix that up. Just a second, you get to see me mixing again because I need 2 hands, so I can show you the finished product here. It's gonna look very similar to your sourdough starter. So here we are, all mixed up. And you just are going to put a tea towel or a linen cloth over this and let it sit out for 24 hours. And in 24 hours, you'll be ready to start making your dough for the sourdough. So let me scrape off my spoon here, and then I will show you. over here. So I just stuck that over here. I'm gonna put my my sourdough. Now I'm gonna feed my sourdough and put it back in the fridge so I can use it again to make more bread next week or in the future. So I just have a linen towel here. So there we go. Just leave it. There's your leaven. Just leave it for 24 hours. And then to feed your starter, you're going to do the exact same thing. You are just going to put in your 75 grams of starter, your 150 grams of water, your 100 grams of all-purpose. I'm sorry, 75 grams of all-purpose, 75 grams of whole wheat, and then mix it all up, put it back in the clean container, put it back in the fridge. And that's it. So I will see you tomorrow with what we're going to do with your leaven. You want to say hi, James? My big helper. Hi. Hi.